Chapter 8 Shawnee. The workers went back to their crafting, only after each came up to Game Night and nudged him gently with their shoulders, like a giant full-body high-five. "So what are all these people crafting?" Game Night asked. "They're making tracks for minecarts, wooden beams for supporting tunnels, chests, and items for chests," Crafter explained. "You ever notice that sometimes you find chests in Minecraft and there are items inside?" He nodded. "Well, that's one of our jobs, to put items in the chests for the users, but we can also equip the jungle temples with items, as well as the occasional dungeon found underground. Probably our most important job, though, is to force the program that rules our Minecraft worlds to create the world before users get there." "What?" Game Night asked. "I don't understand." Crafter moved to inspect some track that one of the NPCs was making, looking carefully at the pieces that were falling into a minecart, then pushed the cart down the tracks, sending it into a dark tunnel. Then he looked back at Game Night 999. "You ever notice how fast the world forms when you move far out away from your spawn point? Well, that's not just an accident. The world forms quickly because it's already been created, because we've already been there. We have millions of blocks of minecart tracks all throughout this world, placed in underground tunnels that are invisible to users. NPCs called riders use the minecarts to travel to the extents of the world, forcing the software to create new terrain so that it's ready for the users. That is our main task in Minecraft." "Underground tracks?" Game Night asked. "Why have I never seen these tracks?" "You have, I bet, but only the portions that we've abandoned. Those are the sections of track that stop becoming invisible to users. When a section of track becomes visible to users, we quickly remove it from the main system and bypass it. Users find these sections and call them abandoned mineshafts." "That's exactly what they are, abandoned tracks that were put there by us. We leave a couple of chests with some items inside to keep users occupied, but the working tracks cannot be seen by users. They're for us." Game Night nodded his head. He'd seen many of these abandoned mines and never gave any thought as to why they were there, why they started from nothing and led to nothing. It all made sense now. "So you have tracks leading all throughout Minecraft?" he asked. Crafter nodded, then moved to another station where an NPC was making wooden planks, the nearby minecart nearly filled with the stacks of wood. "Yes, we do. In fact, our tracks also connect all the villages that are scattered through Minecraft," Crafter explained. "We are in constant communication with them. By now, they all know of our battle and your presence in our village. I'm sure the excitement is growing throughout Minecraft. I only hope that word of you doesn't reach the mobs. When it does, they'll swoop down on us and try to destroy you." "The mobs, when do you think they'll attack next?" "They'll probably leave us alone tonight," Crafter explained as he inspected a cart full of chests. "They usually attack in force every other night, probably waiting for some more monsters to move up from a lower server. So we have one day to prepare?" "That's right," Crafter affirmed. "What should we do?" "First, we need all villagers, all across Minecraft, to have free hands. You can't fight if you don't have hands. Next, we need a battle strategy, and I know just the user to come up with that battle plan. But first, the hands." Game Night moved to a small pile of stone and climbed on top. "Everyone, start crafting!" he yelled. Game Night then jumped down and moved to each crafting bench, breaking it to pieces with his pickaxe, hands of the NPCs pulling back from the cloud and splintered wood, staying free for the first time. Each one looked down at their hands in wonder, flexing their little stubby fingers in front of their eyes, each looking up at Game Night, smiling in gratitude. "Crafter, send people to the other villages and pass the word, telling them all how to free their hands. Next, we need to start crafting weapons, especially bows and arrows, and we'll need lots of picks and shovels. Create more crafting benches and get them started." Crafter gave commands to those near him, causing some of the NPCs to jump into empty minecarts and take off down the darkened tunnels leading in all directions. As the cavern started filling with the commotion of crafting, picks and swords started to litter the ground. "Crafter, I must get back to the surface," Game Night yelled over the din in the cave. "I need to call in some help." "Some help?" Crafter asked. "I'll explain when there's time. Right now we're racing the clock, and if we're not ready for the next attack, we'll be destroyed. Come on." Game Night and Crafter ascended the steps and headed back to the room where they'd first met. Game Night then sprinted down the long dark tunnel until he reached the ladder that led to the surface. Climbing quickly, he shot to the surface, Crafter following close behind. Someone above must have heard them coming because the block that sealed the top of the shelf was broken away before they even reached it, the mayor's face showing at the top, his blocky head ringed with light. Reaching the top, Game Night climbed out the tunnel and stood by the opening. "I hope you met the Crafter," the mayor said, but was then surprised to see the Crafter climbing out after Game Night. "What's going on? Crafter, I've never seen you on the surface. This is dangerous. You must go back underground." "Don't worry, Mayor, I'll be alright," Crafter said. Two workers came out of the shaft, each holding a crafting bench. "Free them all," Game Night commanded. "All of the villagers must be ready." "Ready?" the mayor asked. "Ready for what?" "For battle," Crafter said, a twinkle in his eye. "Okay, I need somewhere private," Game Night asked the Crafter and the mayor. "Use the back room of this house," Crafter replied. "I'll put a door in behind you." "Excellent." Game Night moved to the small room attached to the tower house. A wooden door suddenly appeared, sealing him in. "I hope you're out there," Game Night said to himself, "and I hope I can figure out how to do this." Closing his eyes, Game Night 999 imagined he was sitting in front of his computer in the basement, his wireless keyboard in front of him, wireless gaming mouse in his right hand. Keeping his eyes shut, he concentrated on his hands, not the blocky ones at the end of his Minecraft arms, but his real hands in the physical world. Slowly he imagined himself moving his fingers to his keyboard, and then, with all his concentration focused on his hands, he imagined himself typing, "Shawnee, teleport to me." He waited. Nothing. Driving his mind harder, he tried to form the letters in his brain, but imagined them flowing outward across Minecraft, the text floating across computer screens. "Shawnee, teleport to me." Still nothing. Reaching deep within himself, GameNut drew on all his strength, forming his will and the very fabric of his soul into a beacon of thought, radiating outward in all directions. He pushed with every fibre of his being, feeling his HP decrease a little with the effort. "Shawnee, TP to me." Nothing. Just silence. Thundering silence. But then... Okay. A shimmering wave of light started to form before his eyes, and then suddenly he was there, his friend, Shawnee, blocky letters floating over his head, a long silvery thread stretching up and disappearing into the ceiling. "Hi, Game Night, I've been waiting for you. I've been looking for you," Shawnee said. He was wearing his favourite skin, one that looked like a red and black ninja warrior, with bright red stripes down his arms and a black mask across his face. A blood-red pattern was painted across his chest, making it look as if he'd just been in a battle, and the blood of his fallen enemy was splashed against his shirt and back. Game Night gave a gigantic sigh of relief. "What?" "Thank you for coming," Game Night said, as he reached out with a blocky hand and rested it on his friend's shoulder. "I'm in a bit of a situation here." "I can imagine," Shawnee explained. "People are really pissed about that Team PvP game you trolled. Some are saying that they're going to ban you from their servers." "That doesn't matter right now," Game Night snapped. "We're all in danger. All of Minecraft's in danger." "What are you talking about? You remember my father's latest invention, the digital thingy?" "Right, his digitizer," Game Night explained. "Well, I got shot by it, and now I'm actually in Minecraft. Not just logged in, but actually inside the game." "Huh?" "Shawnee, I can feel every hit, hear every animal when they're killed. I can even feel the plants and walls and people with my hands. I'm living inside the game." "That's impossible," Shawnee objected. "You can't be inside the game." "I thought the same thing. But the pain I feel when I get hit is real. The XP feels real when I pick it up. The sun feels warm on my skin. It all feels real, especially the fear when I face monsters. So just log off. Let yourself get killed so that you can respawn or get kicked off the server." "It doesn't seem to work that way," GameNight said as he moved to one of the windows and looked outside. He could see villagers lining up in front of the crafting benches, getting their hands freed one by the workers from the cavern below. "I don't know what will happen if I get killed. Maybe I'll respawn, maybe I'll get kicked from the server, or maybe I'll really die. I'm not sure, and I'm afraid to find out." "Then I'll just go to your house and turn off your computer," Shawnee said, his voice now filling with apprehension, the truth of his words sinking in. "There's no time," Game Night snapped. "The digitizer is still powered on. If the mobs here overwhelm the server and get to the next server plane, and the next, if they reach the source and destroy that, then they'll cross over into our world, the physical world." "What?" Game Night explained what Crafter had told him about the server planes and the source and the danger to their world. His friend didn't believe him, didn't believe any of his story. "Come, let me prove it to you," Game Night said sternly. Throwing open the door, he led his friend out of the building and into the centre of the village. Panic erupted as soon as the villagers saw Shawnee, everyone running in random directions at once, many taking shelter within their homes. Only Crafter and the mayor remained. "Here, this is the mayor," Game Night explained. "He runs the village and is responsible for their safety. Mayor, this is my friend, probably my only friend, Shawnee. Say hello." The mayor stood there, silent, his arms still folded across his chest. They were clearly still connected, his bright eyes gleaming in the sunlight. "And this is the crafter. He lives underground and directs the villagers' crafting efforts. They make items for—" "Villagers don't craft," Shawnee interrupted. "Everyone knows that. You don't see them crafting, but they do. Crafter, mayor, say something, anything." The two NPCs stood silent, their unibrows forming a furled line over their concerned eyes. "Say something!" Game Night screamed. "Shawnee here is your only hope. He's a master strategist and builder. He can help us fortify your village. No, all the villages. He can stop the slaughter that's coming." Turning to the mayor, he continued. "Mayor, if you want to protect your village, then you must talk to Shawnee or all is lost." Silence. "This is your last chance," he chided. "If you don't speak with him, then I can't help you. I'll have to leave and try to find my way back to my world without helping any of you." Villagers were starting to come out of their homes to listen, their fear of the new user having subsided a little. "Well," GameNut said to the mayor, to everyone, "then you leave me no choice. Come on, Shawnee, let's leave." "It's forbidden," squeaked a young voice from the crowd. "What was that?" Shawnee asked. "It's forbidden for us to talk to users," said the voice, a small girl standing behind her father, her young face peering from behind his legs. "She spoke?" Shawnee said, astonished. "Quiet, daughter," his father said sternly. "This is for the crafter and the mayor, not a father's daughter." "But father, the user that is not a user is going to leave. We can't let him or we'll all die." A murmur swept through the town, the villagers taking a step closer, concern on their faces. "Well," GameNut said to his friend, "perhaps some rules should be broken every now and then," Crafter said to the mayor, his long grey hair flowing in the breeze that blew across the plain. The mayor nodded. "And GameNut 999 has lots of experience with breaking rules, don't you?" Shawnee said with a smile. "Well, Everything your friend here told you was the truth, the mayor said sternly. We aren't supposed to talk to users, but there are extreme days, and I fear night will fall on our world forever without your help. Please help us. Shawnee considered everything that he'd heard and pondered. This was just a game, not real. How could it be real? I know what you're thinking, Game Knight said, because I thought the same thing too. But it's not a game to them. It's their lives. They believe in their own existence, their lives, their hopes and dreams. They mourn when a loved one dies. He saw Digger in the crowd and looked away quickly. And they feel pain and fear just like us. Their world is one of the bits, electronic signals pulsing through circuits and chips, but it's still real, and we have to help them. If we don't, then it may be our world in danger next. We have to draw the line, stand and fight. Are you with us? Shawnee looked at Game Night, then scanned the crowd of villagers. He could see the fear on their faces, fathers and mothers putting newly freed arms around their children, probably for the first time. Turning, he looked at the crafter, the old face wrinkled with age and wisdom, and then he looked down at the brave little girl who'd spoken up. Her eyes were bright with courage, her face looking up at his. How could he refuse? I'm in, he said, loud enough for all to hear, and the village erupted with cheers. Here's what we do, Shawnee said, in a loud voice that Game Night Crafter and the mayor could hear, and he explained his plan.